Hello dear aspirants, today is 24th January and we are ready with the must-read articles list for 24th January. I am 𝐤𝐞𝐥𝐻𝐻, mentor at Prepp IAS, and I am trying to make your newspaper reading effective and fast by covering both prelims and mains aspect. So let's start with the front page, but there's nothing in the front page today. We'll directly go to page number 4, right? So why I've chosen this article, Tusker that fell into well, rescued after high drama. So this article talks about man-animal conflict, okay? It comes under GS paper 3 of environment degradation. So what has happened, an elephant has fell into the well at 𝙤𝙤𝙪 on a plantation belonging to a farmer in Kerala's Malappuram district. But people were resisting, because they were annoyed by elephants' raids and attack in the region, okay? So the elephant was part of a herd that had damaged the farmlands of people living on the forest fringes. The farmers in the area have suffered heavy crop loss because of frequent elephant raids. So this is a situation where our population, humans population are increasing. We are taking over the jungles and elephants have nowhere to go. So this is where we have to strike the concept of sustainable development and how to go about it. Let's move to the next article. Directly coming to the editorial page, this article talks about tuberculosis, India's winding road to end tuberculosis, okay? So this comes under GS paper 2, issues relating to health sector tuberculosis. So we have goals to reduce tuberculosis. What are those goals? The goals that is end TB targets of 90% reduction in TB deaths, 80% reduction in new cases, and zero TB affected families facing catastrophic cost by 2030. These are India's target. But little bit efforts were a little pushback because of COVID-19 pandemic, okay? So right now WHO's Global Tuberculosis Report 2024 says India continues to lead in the global TB burden. Even now, we are carrying the highest burden in the world. Our population percentage is 17-18%, but TB burden is 26% of total cases of world, okay? And we are also hub for drug-resistant TB. You should know what is drug-resistant TB. The TB in which the bacteria have become resistant to the very good quality drugs, the extreme type of drugs. So it is not effective, it is not working or having any effect on such kind of tuberculosis. That is drug resistant TB. So India's National Tuberculosis Elimination Program, NTEP, also defines the high risk or vulnerable group, which are these group which work for construction and who lives in overcrowding region, undernutrition, have uncontrolled comorbidities like diabetes, and have factors like silicosis, okay? They have poor access to healthcare like migrant workers. Undernutrition is also one of the reasons. A significant achievement for India is the treatment initiation in 95% notified cases, okay? 95% cases amongst the total cases notified, 95% cases the treatment has started. So now there are two types of TB. One is lungs affected TB, which is pulmonary, and the other is extrapulmonary TB, which affects any organs of the body like lymph nodes, kidneys, brains, spinal cord, bones, joints and skin, okay? But our scheme NTEP, National Tuberculosis Elimination Programs, focuses on the lung related TB, okay? So that is also not right, because the share of extrapulmonary TB is about 24%, okay? So they are saying simple things like proper history taking through clinical examination and simple tests such as pus staining from non-healing can help diagnose TB faster, because TB related tests are expensive, and it takes time in getting the results. So simple tests can be done. There are also lack of human resources, a major challenge, okay? So molecular tests are expensive and it takes time to access. They're mostly available at the district level. So village related issues are not solved at the earliest, okay? So there's one good example from which India should learn. Idukki district in Kerala has collaborated with 𝑘udumbashree, which is world's largest self-help group of women network in the world, okay? And they have collaborated for TB elimination efforts because of widespread community participation, advocacy by government leadership, and that has created a huge impact in reducing TB in this area, okay? So this is one of the good practices that you can write in answer. Best practices or good example. Other is Vietnam, which also is like India is sharing a huge burden of TB. So they have recently showed the effective use of active case finding for TB. Then it will if they'll find it actively, it will help them to reduce it fast, okay? So that is what India can learn from these two examples. Let's move to the next article. In this, the entire most of part of the article is about political parties, so we will not choose that. A great birthday for the Election Commission of India. So tomorrow, that is 25th January, is National Voters Day, foundation of Election Commission of India. So one of the quotes of B.R. Ambedkar is important here. The executive government is instructing or managing things in such a manner that those people who do not belong to them, either racially, culturally, or linguistically, are being excluded from the electoral rolls. And electoral rolls are a most fundamental thing for democracy. Independence of elections and avoidance of any interference by executive should be regarded as a fundamental right of people, right? So this is B.R. Ambedkar's quote from Constituent Assembly in 1949, introducing the constitutional provision to set up ECI. This quote you can use in essay for democracy, for Election Commission of India, or in GS2 paper related to Election Commission of India. Let's move to the next article in opinion page. Is poverty being underestimated in India? So I've chosen this article since poverty comes in our syllabus in GS paper 2, issues related to poverty and hunger, GS paper 3, inclusive growth, GS paper 1 also poverty related issues. So poverty is there in our syllabus. Okay, so I've chosen this article so you should know the committees related to poverty who have decided the poverty lines in the past, what are the terms related to poverty calculation. Okay, so recent committee that decided poverty line was Rangarajan committee in 2012. Before that it was Tendulkar committee in 2005. Before that it was Lakdawala committee in 1992, and before that it was Alag committee. Okay, so you should know this sequence of the committee chronologically. It will help you in answering question in prelims. And there are other so earlier it was poverty definition was about calorie consumption. Okay, now the definition has been broadened. It's not just about food, it's about other facility that is required for quality or dignified human life. So it has been broadened. Okay, so there are certain terms related to poverty, which is uniform reference period, recall period, mixed reference period, and modified mixed reference period. So you should learn about this from your economy concepts, and it will be very helpful in your prelims exam also. You should know about these terminologies. Okay, and there are different the Niti Aayog's multidimensional poverty index has 12 indicators, whereas UNDP has 10 indicators. Okay, so there is an issue about that also they are talking about. And UNDP's definition of poverty line, you should know. UNDP program lays down $2.15 per day as a poverty line. Okay, so that makes a poverty around 12.9%. Okay, so that's a debatable thing. What is the poverty, how much poverty is there, but you should know UNDP's definition. Let's move to the next article. There's a photo in the previous editorial page which is very interesting. Workers install a plate with QR code on a chinar tree. So a QR code is all like Aadhaar number is given to trees also in chinar tree at Nishad Bagh and 𝙩 Lake in Srinagar under the Digital Tree Aadhaar Conservation Initiative. They're trying to save trees. So chinar trees, which are cultural symbol of Jammu and Kashmir and are facing threat due to urbanization. So this is unique identification codes which will give a person information about the tree's geographical location, health, and growing pattern. So you can use this example how people are trying to save trees, how government is also trying to save trees. Okay, this 𝙩 Lake Srinagar's example. Let's move to the next page. So this article, France's influence in West Africa is over. Why have I chosen this article? We are not, we are not that much concerned with it, but since world history is in our syllabus and something like this has happened, so the question can come about France's colonialism that has happened, like Britain. Okay, so what has happened? So these countries, Senegal, Ivory Coast, and Chad, have joined 3 West African countries, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, and they're asking French troops to withdraw, to go, and marking a major blow to France's waning influence in the region. So France colonialism time is declining, and their influence is going down. Okay, So these countries are asking them to go. There are several reasons why they want them to go. First is it is incompatible with the concept of national sovereignty. That is, that is the principle of nation state. So one issue is that. Second issue is people, second issue is the anti-French sentiments alongside a public demand. People are not happy with the French troops being set there because they are not helping to save them from Islamic State or Al-Qaeda. These French troops are not, are able to save the people. So people are dissatisfied with them. The third is now West Africa wants to move from France's and, colonial past and want to make friends with other partners like Russia and China. Okay, so they want to make new partners. So this is what is happening. Europe's declining presence, competition from Russia and China. And what is this concept called? France's withdrawal marks the end of Francophrique. So Francophrique is a concept which is diminishing political, military and economic presence of of France in Africa. Okay, so this is what it is about. Let's move to the next article. Yeah, so this article states yet to use 70,700 crore funds for welfare of workers. So this is about construction workers and builders. So Union Labour Ministry has replied in RTI that welfare boards for building and other construction workers have not used the cess of amount 70,000 crore that has been collected from the employers for the welfare of workers. That is the purpose. So it comes under building and other construction workers regulation of employment and conditions of act in 2005. This act was passed in 1996, which empowers the construction workers welfare board. So there should be a construction worker welfare board which is constituted by state government to levy cess from employers from 1 to 2%. Okay, it should not be more than 2%, it should not be less than 1%. And this cost of construction will be incurred by employer for providing facilities to construction workers. Okay, so that was the purpose, but they have not used it. So you can use it as an example where government, there's a governance issue also, where things are not being able to use for the vulnerable population properly. Next article is again similarly for Manrega. New Manrega wage payment system not significantly better. So people are facing issues here again. So Union government made the Aadhaar based system, which is Aadhaar based payment system, ABPS, mandatory from January 2024 so that it will boost efficiency, saving and transparency. But workers feel that it has not benefited them because payments have been misdirected due to ABPS. Names of many workers have been deleted because of the mismatch between details in their job cards and their Aadhaar. So this is also one of the issues that you can write in the governance issue, like Manrega related issue, building construction workers related issue, whether you want to write the limitations of governance. Okay, let's move to the next article. There's an article in a foreign page which talks about world page. Yeah, so this example can be used for essay. Anuja nominated for Best Live Action Short Film at 2025 Academy Awards, which is Oscars. Okay, so Anuja is a short film set in New Delhi. It's not an Indian film, but it is set in New Delhi, which talks about child labor. So Anuja is a 9-year-old girl who is very talented and is gifted. Now she has to choose whether she has to go to education or she has to continue working in the factory. Okay, the film tells the story of a gifted 9-year-old girl, Anuja, who must choose between education and factory work alongside her sister, impacting their future. It talks about child labor and the love between two sisters. So it can be your introduction of few essays where there's inequality, or even if people are intelligent, they're not getting opportunity to work upon it. So you can use it as an anecdotes. Instead of creating an anecdote, it's a ready-made anecdote of a famous movie. Okay, let's move to the last page of the day, science page. So here we are talking about a chemical which is carcinogenic, the hidden dangers of rhodamine B, a global and local perspective. Okay, so this comes under GS paper 2 health sector because these are adulterations which is harming people's health. FSI is related with it. This also comes under GS paper 3 science and tech, where chemicals are being used in everyday life. So what has happened? Rhodamine B is a synthetic dye. Okay, and it is utilized in industries such as textiles, papers and leather. Okay, its application extend to scientific research due to its fluorescent property. So that's where it is fine. Till the time it is it is being used in scientific. But what is happening, it is also used in consumable products, eating products, like which can have health risks, okay, like DNA damage, mutations, and cancerous growth. Okay, so you can see the picture. Okay, it is candy floss, or whatever it is called, 𝑘𝐠𝐻𝑒𝐾 𝐿, candy floss, lot of things it is called. Okay, so what in India, the candy floss has been found to have this chemical rhodamine B. Okay, the animal research has demonstrated tumor development in organs like liver and bladder following prolonged exposure to the dye. Okay, so what it is talked, so Tamil Nadu has banned it. Okay, and Indian states like Tamil Nadu lead. Karnataka has also prohibited the use of rhodamine B in popular street foods like gobi manchurian, etc., and cotton candy. Minister of Health and Family Welfare of Karnataka has announced stringent penalties for violators, including imprisonment up to 7 years and fines reaching 10 lakh. Puducherry has also followed suit by banning the sale of cotton candy having rhodamine B. 𝐻𝐿 Pradesh instituted a 1-year ban on the production of cotton candy. So this cotton candy is in the major target having this chemical. So make sure nobody around you is eating it, right? It has potential carcinogenic effects. So there is need of proactive funding, okay, and commissioning of independent research by Food Safety and Standards Authority of India to study the impact of additives, especially synthetic dyes, on public health based on Indian diet practices through collaboration and academic and research institution. Okay, so this is what we should talk about. Rhodamine B has hidden dangers that lurk in innocuous products. So it is collective responsibility of governments, industries, and consumers to prioritize health over aesthetics. That's it for today's article. Thank you.